Did you know that there was a Hoobastank themed space mountain at Disneyland? Because I didn't. And I consider myself a Disney expert, but I was walking around the parks the other day and the light was hitting the space mountain sign just right. And underneath the word space, it said rocket. So I made this video. I need help. Okay, this is a space mountain sign, obviously. But look! I was not around when rocket rods were here. But tell me, was this the old queue entrance for rocket rods? How did I not know this? And a lot of people corrected me, letting me know that the rocket rods entrance is where Buzz Lightyear is now. This isn't rocket rods, but then what was this entrance? So I did get a couple answers, but decided to deep dive more, as I like to do. And it's really embarrassing because I do remember actually talking about this on my Slice of Disney podcast episode on Space Mountain.
Called Rockin' Space Mountain. It did have a Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
But here we go, because you might not know this, and I found this really interesting. So, what Space Mountain is a little sign underneath it actually says Rocket Mountain. And this came in the time of the early mid-2000s where Disney was trying to make a lot of changes, and I miss when they felt a little more desperate. So they would make all of these like really quirky, unique choices to try and get younger, hipper audience in. So the idea was that Space Mountain would be Space Mountain during the day, and then at nighttime, it would become like this cool rock concert where they would have different songs and lasers going. It's funny that they had the full sign for it because Rocket Mountain only came around for like a very brief amount of time and never to the general public. Grad Night was really big at Disney World in Florida, so they wanted to bring the idea over to California. So the only people who ever saw Rocket Mountain are the people who were at Grad Night in 2006. They used the song Let It Out by Hoobastank and had a voiceover of our beloved Cosmic Ray. The only people who ever saw what the sign was actually made for was 2006 Grad Night participants. But there's a tiny bit more. All right, now let me set the stage. It is January 3rd, 2007, and Disney has just started their promotional year of Rockin' both parks. Now, this might feel like an odd band to choose now, but Red Hot Chili Peppers would just come off their #1 album, they're a California band, so they decided to take the beloved indoor ride and make it into a rock concert. At Space Mountain, you would hear the Red Hot Chili Peppers singing Higher Ground, which was a cover of a Stevie Wonder song. So you have Rockin' Space Mountain, but you also had California's Screamin' turn into its own rock concert with the Red Hot Chili Peppers singing their song Around the World. And that was the time during the Californication album, so who knows why they just didn't pick Californication for the California Screamin', but that's okay. That doesn't matter. I once got to talk to a composer who works on the music for the rides. He's the guy who made the Star Wars version of Space Mountain. And he was talking about how much detail goes into making those songs for a roller coaster so that every single person, no matter what row you're in, is hearing the same moments as they climb up the mountain. And because it's a roller coaster, seat 1 gets there at a different time than seat 12. So they must have put like a good amount of effort into making these songs fit the roller coasters and to do lighting and all that stuff. I don't know. But it only ended up lasting until April 26, 2007. So that was like 3 months that they redid the entire ride in order to just go, yeah, you know what, never mind, just kidding. Which, Rocket Rods also has its, listen to me now. Rocket Rods also had a short lifespan, so that was a fun time for the parks. What I love about this is that this is a perfect example of showing Disney's ability to go quirky and experiment with things, especially during this time of the theme parks. Like, not everything is meant to last forever, but it gives us some really great memories and fun things to talk about, like Light Magic, or my favorite thing to talk about, Superstar Limo. These things show about Disney's ever-long journey to change and evolve and grow. We just watched D23 and all the changes that are coming. Are all of them going to hit? No, probably not, but they sound super exciting and a lot of it does sound great. This is really just a perfect example of Disney doing its best. Now you know, just as well as I do, the mystery behind Rocket Mountain and Rockin' Space Mountain, and now you don't have to do the deep dive. I did it for you. I hope you had fun, and as they say, like and subscribe so that we can keep hanging out. We need more nerd friends. This is the way we do it. So I hope you have a rockin' day.